Hey Nitwits, this Game Over Joey.
And Damo99, aka Slippery Pickle.
We hope you're having a fantastic day. We have a great episode for you guys. I know this has been really big in the news, but Xbox purchasing Bethesda is going to be the topic today. And we are so excited to just bring up our highlights, the stuff we truly enjoyed about the event itself, and really hear your input on what you guys thought. So we'll just get right into it. Dom, what'd you think of the event?
Above average. Gotta say, you predicted a lot of things. So, don't really want to say you know it all, but you made a lot of really good points in our last Bethesda conversation, and I think this event kind of proved a lot of things that we talked about before.
I would totally agree with that. I do think a lot of the predictions we made were definitely brought up in this recent event. And I'm just going to start with it. Xbox is going to have Bethesda games exclusivity. It's something that we talked about. A lot of people didn't think it was going to happen, but it is happening. We're going to go ahead and roll the clip now.
I see it. I see it in the community. I listen to the podcast and all the questions. So I'm going to try to be as clear as I can because that's what I just think it's fair. So obviously I can't sit here and say every Bethesda game is exclusive because we know that's not true. There's contractual obligations that we're going to see through, as we always do in every one of these instances. We have games that exist on other platforms, and we're going to go support those games on the platforms they're on. There's communities of players. We love those communities, and we'll continue to invest in them. And even in the future, there might be things that have either contractual things or legacy on different platforms that we'll go do. But if we're an Xbox customer, the thing I want you to know is this is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists. And that's our goal. That's why we're doing this. That's the root of this partnership that we're building, and the creative capability we will be able to bring to market for our Xbox customers. It's going to be the best it's ever been for Xbox after we're done here.
So, after viewing that clip, Phil Spencer's very clear with they're going to be exclusive to their consoles. Now, he did state that there are some obligations that where specific games will still be on PlayStation that they're going to have to continue to support. So, if we just think about that specific statement, that tells you Elder Scrolls Online, Fallout 76, and any games that came out prior, like Doom, Doom Eternal, etc., right?
Basically anyone that's under contract with them currently.
Right, and any future obligations, because it sounds like there are some out there, those being Deathloop, the Tokyo game, but those are only going to be time exclusives. They're still coming to Xbox, though. So, with that said, and you guys viewing that clip, I think that speaks volume. That is what they're doing. A lot of people are wondering, why are they doing this? It's a business play. It's a business play. Here's all I'll say to this. As if I was the CEO of a massive game, console company, Sony, PlayStation, or Xbox, think about it like this. I'm spending $7.5 billion. I'm not going to share it with my competitor. It's no different from whatever business you're in. Hey, if you got a great idea, you're gonna keep the idea to yourself. You're not going to give it to someone else. It's business.
You can really say it's just like in sports when someone trades for a player and they're like, you can't play them. Pull them now. They're out of the game.
Yeah.
It's basically what Xbox is doing now. They acquired an amazing studio, something that's very strong, and they basically told PlayStation, you're done.
Yeah.
What you got left, that's it.
Absolutely. And again, I do think Elder Scrolls Online, when it gets a sequel or whatever the case is, or if they do make a second game, I do think that's going to come to PlayStation. Or I do think that will be like the one exception, only because it's already there. But I don't, again, it was Wednesday or Thursday, they specifically said, hey, our games, Bethesda games, are going to be exclusive. That means no more Doom. That means no more Elder Scrolls. That means no more Starfield, Fallout. They're all going to be exclusive to Game Pass devices. So, speaking of Game Pass, I have a crazy theory. During that whole interview with Todd Howard, Phil Spencer, and so forth, they made a comment that everything behind them has meaning. There was a Switch behind Phil Spencer. I think Game Pass is coming to Switch. Hands down.
Now, I don't know about that. I know you're gung-ho on it, but I will say this. Nintendo and Microsoft have a great relationship. They've worked in the past. They were the first to bring crossplay among many different games to each other. So it holds water to some degree. I mean, they've worked together before. My biggest fear is, can the Switch run half of the games that Xbox has?
Remember, via xCloud, it's not running the games. It's ran through a cloud.
That's true.
So
I did not think about that.
Yeah, you can technically, according to Microsoft, xCloud can be done on your cell phone, your iPhone, your Android device, on your tablets, and it's going to run flawlessly. You don't need to have the hardware. That's what's great about it. xCloud is coming to smart TVs. You don't even need a damn console anymore. So with that just makes sense. A handheld portable device. Nintendo and Xbox have worked well in the past together. Game Pass is going to come to Switch. That's it. I called it today. It's happening.
Book it.
Yep. Book it. And the other thing is, Dom, we talked, offhand right before this, and Dom brought up, other great ideas such as Master Chief coming to Smash Bros. And I think that is a huge possibility. I do think that's probably going to happen. Again, it goes back to that partnership. But yeah, I think that there's going to be a lot of great things coming from Nintendo and Xbox in the future. And I think there's some secrets that we just don't know yet that are going to happen. I really do.
Now, I could see, you go with your theory, Game Pass comes to Switch. I can see Microsoft giving everything to Switch. I do not see vice versa. I don't see like Xbox or any of the other devices that are able to play anything on the Game Pass, being able to leave Switch. So like no Zelda, no anything like that. Mario, I don't think that will be leaving. I think that's like Nintendo's pride and joy. But I mean, who knows what the limit is? I mean, and we're only going to keep finding out little by little more. So it definitely is about to get real interesting to see what PlayStation has up their sleeve.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I really do. I think that I can't see that happening either. But I just want to throw a curveball out there. Something I literally just thought about. What if... So we all know at one point Phil Spencer approached Nintendo and said, hey, we want to buy you guys. We want to buy your company. You guys don't make the best consoles. You guys make phenomenal games, though. So, obviously, Nintendo laughed in his face and shut him down. But here's my thing. What if Nintendo focused on just handheld devices, brought all their games to Xbox, which obviously has 10 times the amount of power to run these games? I don't think it'd be a bad idea. I honestly think it could end up being a really good move for them overall. But I do think if they did do that, they would obviously lose a lot of money because of their console sales. But I mean, regardless, though, I don't think it'd be a bad move, and especially if Xbox did, acquire them. I mean, again, with this Bethesda acquisition, the sky is the limit. Nintendo was struggling not that long ago. They were looking on the verge of filing bankruptcy. So you think about it, I don't question Xbox anymore or Microsoft. I could see them acquiring it. They talked about other acquisitions this large happening. They are open about acquiring other companies this large, Bethesda large. That means other large companies
no one's off limits.
Yeah, no one's exactly perfectly. Yeah, perfectly said. No one is off limits, and I think that with that, it's just insane to think about. Just to think about what if Xbox does buy Nintendo and owns rights to Zelda, Mario. That would be insane. Do I think that's going to happen? Probably not. I can't see Nintendo just giving up their pride and joy, but it wouldn't be a bad move.
I mean, let's jump on that bandwagon real quick. I mean, Nintendo previously, like you said, was looking to file bankruptcy. honestly, the pandemic probably helped out Nintendo more than any other game company.
Oh yeah.
Which sounds horrible to say, but I mean, I know so many people that as soon as like shutdown started happening, everything, they bought immediately a Switch. I mean, there's so many games that got popular. Well, I can't think of the one really annoying farming game on Switch. Oh my goodness, it was up for Game of the Year. Oh my goodness, I'm just gonna act like we're not drawing a blank. But
is it Animal Crossing?
Animal Crossing.
Okay, yeah.
I call it a farming game. Tells you how much I pay attention to Animal Crossing. But more importantly, I think you have games like that blew up. I mean,
yeah.
You have the Switch has a very unique crowd. It has a different fan base. Like, there's never a console war where someone's like, "What about the Switch?" There's never that argument. Like, even with the Wii, I mean, the Wii was definitely sold way more than Xbox or PlayStation. I mean, I know so many people. I played a ton of Wii, like, but I never in the back of my mind was like, "Huh, are you Xbox, PlayStation, or Wii?" Like,
yeah,
that was never a conversation. So Nintendo doesn't have the name like that, but maybe if you partner with Xbox, you start growing your name a little bit more.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I also think that, though, you're right. They don't have that type of a name, but I don't look at them as a competitor, though, in regards to PlayStation and Microsoft or Xbox.
Well, I will say, when PlayStation came after them with the Vita, PlayStation got rocked. I mean, I think they just own the handheld field, and there's nothing anyone can do about it.
And that's what I was saying. That's where I think Nintendo shines. So they should focus on that and give actual console rights and game rights to Xbox. I think it's a good move. I personally think it's a great move. If I'm thinking logic as a businessman, that would be a major win for Xbox. And I think also for Nintendo, too, because Nintendo doesn't have they have a select few great exclusives, right? But when you think about it, do they have enough to keep going and going and going? Yeah, if they kept making new games and producing them, but they don't do it. I think they are probably one of the most stagnant companies when it comes down to releasing new games such as the Mario genre or Zelda genre. They should do it more often than they do. So,
we talked about that a little bit before. It seems like every time it's like, oh crap, we haven't done nothing in a while, and all of a sudden they pump out a Mario and Zelda game all at once.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying they need to be like Call of Duty where it's like every year new Mario. But even if that means like Mario Tennis, Mario Golf, like little games like that in between. But I feel like they just go like so far in between of their big like home run hitters where you're kind of like, oh, not going to touch my Switch now for a while.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. So I'm going to bring up the next topic because it's a really big one as well. id Software. So for people that don't know, id Software are the developers of Doom. And they have some of the best in-game engine and really the industry. When you think of Doom Eternal, it is a game that really can cap out at 250, 300 frames per second because it's so well optimized because of that engine. The reason why that is insane is because Phil Spencer said during this we'll just call it a roundtable.
Mini event.
Yeah, mini event there. He said specifically he's looking to possibly partner that software with 343 Industry, so Halo, right? And the Coalition, the Gears of War developers.
Spend time with them.
Spend time with the games, and it just pops. Like, it's so clear. And then when you think about their capability, and I think about them collaborating and working and talking with the Coalition and 343, and just like the first-person shooter, third-person shooter space that we have, the studios that are there, I think just kind of an amazing capability. The other thing I get really excited about with id that we haven't really talked a lot about is the future of id tech. And what could that mean inside of Xbox? Obviously, we've got a ton of studios doing a bunch of different work. I love the way Marty talked about how they've collaborated with other Bethesda studios on InTech, and I just think about that to the next level. Like, what can we do inside of our organization with InTech, which is one of the world's best game engines out there, and just make it a tool that so many developers can use to realize their vision.
With it's amazing because we didn't just get...
Well, also, they're developing Perfect Dark. Must throw that in there because I'm a huge Perfect Dark fan. So, that is an amazing news. And with software like that, that engine is just so freaking amazing. When you look at Doom looks so beautiful. And the frame rate in Doom, you can't get that in any other game due to no other engine is that optimized. Yeah, there's great engines out there. Don't get me wrong. Look at Horizon Zero Dawn. Beautiful game, right? Then you have Fortnite. I think Fortnite's a beautiful game. Yeah, cartoony graphics. It may not be for you, but still, it's well.
And look how far it's came.
Yeah.
It's done great.
Yeah, but again, it's no optimization like Doom. So I want to throw that out there because I think that's a good point. The other... Oh, go ahead. I
was going to say, if they go and do that, and we get the better graphics for everything, do you think they would go out and push out more, new versions of the game? Or you think they'll go back and remaster?
No,
because I was thinking, especially for Gears, I'm one of the people as well. You get attached to Gears 1, Gears 2. I mean, Marcus and Dom. Although I'm biased for the name of Dom. You fall in love with those characters, and I'm curious if they really did get a new amazing engine. If it was time, they'd be like, all right, let's go back and visit our friends.
Think about it like this, though. Again, they're not going to... I could see them doing a remaster in several years, sure. Because, Gears of War came out in 2006.
Yeah.
But
insane.
But they've already done one remaster of Gears of War, though. So, I do think that they could do more of them or do a set eventually with this new software as a full remaster, not just an HD upgrade. But they're not ever going to just remake the game just to remake the game, right? That's not what they're in business to do. But I do think that we're going to see a lot of this new tech, and it's going to... That's the other part of this, right? With all these acquisitions, they have, 30 studios now? So more than double the size of PlayStation. And when you think about it like that, all those different studios are using different engines. Now they can share that across all those studios because they're all part of one company, where they can now all have that same level of detail and performance, which is absolutely insane to think about the actual overall, not value, but help me out here.
No, I think it does bring a different value. I think value is a great term.
I'm thinking of quality of game. So I do think the value is going to be also, of course it's going to be better, right? But there's so much to sit here and think about and speculate that the sky's the limit now for Microsoft. I think Xbox is in a huge... has the biggest advantage now over PlayStation. There's no way I can see PlayStation coming back from this.
And they have the money to do it.
Yeah. Look, they were announced the most valuable company back in January 2021. They surpassed Amazon and Walmart. That should say enough right there.
That makes no sense to me.
It makes total sense to me.
Amazon is godly.
But 7.4 billion people in this world, and guess what? Most of those people have a computer with Windows on it.
Yeah,
think about it like that. So you got to think about it like that, and then bang, bada boom, and think about Game Pass. Again, we talked about this in a prior video. They're looking at 18 million subscribers. That's 18 million compared to PlayStation Now, which is at 2 million. 2 million subscribers versus 18. They're charging $14.99 a month. You're looking at almost $270 billion in revenue a month that Xbox is making. I do understand that cloud servers are very expensive. I do get all that. But think about it. Microsoft owns all their shit. They're the only person they're really paying are themselves, right? And then their people. So a lot of that's going to be profit. And again, multi-trillion-dollar company, absolutely insane gains. So
also under the table move, Stadia is coming to Xbox too. So
yeah.
I mean, they're silently bringing in more too.
Yeah.
So I think that's another thing to look at. So, I mean, if they went and got Stadia to come over, I mean, why not get some Nintendo stuff? I mean,
Yeah.
I know that's all speculation. I know that's just, but I mean, Stadia legitimately is coming. Like, that's confirmed.
Yeah. And I want to say this too. I mean, you said it was a Streams Flex, and when you texted me that, and I thought it was hilarious because I thought to myself, that is weird. I mean,
Weird flex, but okay. But,
yeah, it's like, it's cool because, again, it's just an additional feature that you get for owning an Xbox.
Yep.
But it's like, am I going to use it? Personally, no, and I don't see a lot of people using it. But Stadia is supposed to have some exclusive games of their own. So when you think about it, it's just an additional game to add to their library. So I do think that is a pretty nifty feature in a sense.
You know, I mean, we're all consumers, and the more we can get from one thing, why not take advantage of it?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt, right? It doesn't hurt, and I think that's what they're thinking too. So yeah, for the next thing, that was a huge, topic of discussion is games in Japan. And what I mean by that is, for example, Tango Games, are part of Bethesda, this whole acquisition, and it is a studio in Japan. And you got to think about developers of Devil May Cry, who are now partners with Microsoft. That is huge. That is huge. And the reason why that is huge, why is Dom?
Because they make more games for exclusivity for one console.
But also because of market. Think about it. When we think about Japan and China, PlayStation owns the entire market there. And I get Xbox has a little bit there, but not as much. And the more developers they're working with from those areas, it's in exclusives, it's going to get that market, those individuals in that market, to buy the Xbox or subscribe to Game Pass. So it's all about the market, right? They want their fair share of market, and they're going to be able to obtain it for the first time in ever.
Well, the thing of it too, we keep repeating, especially everything that keeps coming out. You don't need an Xbox.
You don't.
You physically don't have to own the Xbox. So even if any of those people have a PC, you can have an Xbox.
Exactly.
Like you said, I believe the first video we ever did, it was the PlayStation's going to sell consoles. The Xbox is strictly going for Game Pass. Microsoft's only move is Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass. The more they sell, the more they make.
Exactly. And that's exactly it right there. So when you think about it, they're selling Game Pass. They're not selling consoles. And they sit there and say, we have 18 million subscribers to Game Pass versus where PlayStation has the 2 million on PlayStation Now. Phil Spencer knows what he's doing. He has really made Xbox a consumer-focused brand. You can't say the same thing about Jim Ryan. No. I think Jim Ryan is the wrong guy to be running PlayStation. I don't know how to say the original CEO's name, so I'm not even going to try to say it. But I do think he had the best interest in the actual player's heart. Jim Ryan is a businessman. I understand Phil Spencer is too, but Phil Spencer's focusing on the consumer versus where Jim Ryan's not. Ryan, go ahead.
If you focus on the consumer, they're always going to buy your product.
Absolutely.
I think with PlayStation, they could be arrogant. I mean, they've dominated the last how many console wars? Well, I guess not wars, but how many years? I mean, when's the last time you would say Xbox was better than PlayStation?
360 days.
So how long has that been now? I mean...
Yeah, I get the point. And I think, you're definitely right there, but I do think that's going to eventually, you're going to put your foot in your mouth. And I think that's what Jim Ryan's doing. When
he'll be stepping down in a couple years, I bet.
Oh, I think it's going to be in our near future. I agree. Mm-hmm. It's because he does not have the player at the center of their model, and he may say they do, but they don't. Again, everything that Phil Spencer's been doing is really focusing on the consumer, and that is why I have leaned more towards Xbox. I'm not a fanboy. I mainly play PC. But when I sit here and think as a consumer, where do I want to send my money? It's to Xbox because, again, it's how they're approaching the people. So I do think that is a huge, huge, huge deal.
Didn't the Switch's CEO just step away too?
Yeah, Reggie. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He stepped down, and here's the thing: he wasn't a very good CEO. He wasn't very good at his job. Now he was Nintendo. He was Nintendo president and CEO of America, not over the entire company, but still. Obviously, America plays a big part in that, and I'm happy that he stepped down because again, he wasn't the best fit for the job. After he left, Nintendo has gotten better. So that's
Hey, I'm just saying to add fuel to your fire.
yeah. Well, that's what I've always said though. As a leader anywhere, any company, even if you're a general manager at KFC, right? You know, if you're good to your people, if your employees are first, customers will come. And what I mean by that is very simple. If their employees feel valued, they like what they do, they like their boss, they're going to work for you, not against you.
The Chick-fil-A philosophy.
Exactly. And hey, we all love Chick-fil-A. Hey, I got to tell you, only this is way off topic, but I know you love TikTok too. You know, do you ever see those hacks at Chick-fil-A on TikTok?
Yeah.
So I did one. So I bought the chicken sandwich, the spicy chicken sandwich. I threw the mac and cheese on it with their zesty buffalo sauce. Oh my God. That's all I'm going to say. It was killer. It was so good.
Great at Food Channel.
Yeah, we were going to have to. Then the other one is, dude, insane. This is one I didn't see on TikTok. I saw it on YouTube. But this guy bought a tortilla from Chipotle. Then he basically took bought a chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A, put that chicken sandwich in the burrito. Then he bought chicken nuggets, put it in the burrito. Then he bought the mac and cheese, put it in the burrito. It's not even done. Then he took the fries, put it inside the burrito. And then he took the zesty buffalo and then the garlic ranch and made a burrito out of it with the tortilla from Chipotle. Oh my God. Let me tell you.
Dead from clogged artery.
No, I did that. And I'm alive.
God.
It was absolutely insane. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, it was bonkers. It was so good. Like it was better than Chipotle. You know I love Chipotle. So, I'm just saying.
Me too.
But the other topic, or not the other topic, but the other highlight of this event is that they're having a summer event planned with Bethesda. Xbox is.
What?
Yeah, I mean, shocker. But
Who saw this coming?
But I do think that's really awesome, though, that they're really combining forces and they're making this event a lot about Bethesda. And they also said that there's going to be, guess what? New game announcements that have not been, just haven't been announced, right? That's what a new game announcement is. And then, I was about to explain what that is. Wow.
Please do.
Well, it's when a game hasn't been announced.
Whoa.
And the other thing, we're going to see games that have been in development for the past several years, actual first trailers, which is obviously Starfield. And I'm going to say Elder Scrolls 6. I'm saying it. I know that's very far-fetched because they said that game probably won't be coming out to 2023 or 2024. But I do think we're going to actually get our first glimpse on it. I know we got like a little 6-second trailer, but it's that time. We need a trailer.
Hey, I bet they tease you again. That's what I'm going with.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. A tease trailer. We're going to get another teaser. I don't think it's going to be a full gameplay trailer. No.
We're going to go full 10 seconds this time.
Yep.
Woo-wee.
Yeah, that's all I need with one activity that Don knows all about.
Trailers in video games.
Okay. But yeah, so do you have anything you want to add on any of these awesome announcements? Or highlights?
Anthem 2.0 got canceled. I'm still heartbroken over that. I know I've brought it up a couple times now throughout their videos, but
me too, man. I know I said this last video too, but I was a huge fan of the first one. I know the first one was not that great, right? As in story, it had a lot of bugs, but the concept was amazing. It got me to play enough, max out my character, and my wizard, as I believe it's called. And I thought the world was beautiful. The boss fights were obviously the bosses were overly power and so forth, whatever. It definitely needed a rehaul, but it is very depressing that they canceled it.
And more importantly, the Marvel game, that we just have been such big fans of this whole time throughout the whole channel's life, they really took great constructive criticism, and instead of fixing the game, they've decided to work on the loot grinding. So I'm just so proud of them that they're going to focus on the least important thing that people are complaining about. So great job by Marvel. They're really going to make great success and strides in the next year with that game.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
I mean, I think Microsoft right now is in the driver's seat of everything. I think that's the biggest take back from this whole video is you're looking at Microsoft, they're spending the money, they're working with multiple people, obviously. They have things under the table that no one even saw coming or even thought would be happening. I mean, so all your fan theories, shoot them out. Like, let's hear everything. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah.
At this point, anyone knows. I mean, it's
yeah,
throwing a dartboard and make a guess.
Yeah, I agree. And I want to add one last thing. It's really around creativity from a developer standpoint. And Todd Howard actually touched base on this during the event. He said that Microsoft has never, ever made them release a game by a specific time frame or date or whatever the case is. I understand that they're not the publisher. They can't, but they've never been a pressure-focused company. Which is why they're okay with that acquisition.
Do you think that's a shot at Cyberpunk?
Probably.
Yeah.
But I do want to say this, though. Xbox has specifically said during this event, Phil Spencer said, hey, we're not going to force our people to make one specific type of game. With all 30 of our studios, we're going to have them make their own games. If it's a fail, we'll throw it in the trash, get it back to the drawing board. We don't care. We want creativity free run here, and there's no restrictions. We don't have to just make 15 story-driven games that don't have multiplayer. Now, I do think that was a little bit of a low blow from PlayStation. Of course, he didn't say that, but I do think that's where it was at. But that just tells you that, again, the developers are in control, not the publisher. And I think that right there is key to a successful game.
Had this in Xbox, as we've been planning for this moment for so long, this is an opportunity for us to learn as an organization from a team that's done work incredibly well. You've worked with such a diverse set of studios, giving them a sense of confidence, and you heard the stories that allow them to go and try new creative things in different ways, not stay safe. Like, that's the goal as a platform holder, and the aspiration that we have. We don't need 15 games that are trying to do the same thing. We would like to try 30 different things across 15 different games. It's even more now when you think about all the studios. So I love just listening and learning from what you and the teams have built, and hearing the sense of confidence that the teams have of we can go try to do new things. We can go work with another partner that we have and learn from that. Really amazing work, and I just can't wait to learn more and more about how you've done it.
Yeah.
Think of Destiny. Think of Battlefield. Think of a million other games. I mean, Marvel, Avengers.
When you have the company that's going to sit there and say, hey, we'll stay with you as long as you need. I mean, especially if your product's good enough. I also believe you've touched base on how they said if the project's not good, they're just going to cut it.
Yeah.
I mean, that tells you a lot. I mean, if a company's going to come out and say that, I mean, why not?
Think about it, man. One of the Xbox's biggest games for Xbox One that ended up getting trashed, but they literally were in development for years. They showed it countless times. Full game trailers and gameplay trailers with Scalebound. Scalebound was one of my most anticipated games for years, and then it got scrapped because it was too ambitious. And what I mean by that, the technical fidelity couldn't be handled on consoles. So I was super depressed after I heard the cancellation, but knowing the fact that Microsoft said, hey, let's scrap it, and they didn't hold the studio accountable, and they said, hey, let's get back to the drawing board and make a new game, that speaks volume. And I don't think anyone can disagree with that.
Think of Crackdown 3. Crackdown 3, I swear, was rumored for like 1,000 years. Mm-hmm. Because I used to remember the Terry Crews commercials, because every time he'd come on, I'd be like, oh, man, that's Terry Crews. I'd get all excited.
So, doesn't he do the Old Spice commercials?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like him and then the real suave black guy who I can't think of his name right now.
Yeah, I
I
can't
like the two they switch between now.
Yeah. Yeah, the bucktooth guy.
Are you Terry Crews?
Is that him? Yeah.
He's White Chicks. That's how a lot of people know.
Yeah,
him.
okay. Yeah, for some reason I couldn't put the name of the face. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that's it.
Yeah. Stay tuned. I think this is going to be another big topic of ours. I think we're going to be following Microsoft pretty heavily here. Definitely expect something from Sony. So as soon as we hear anything of what Sony's doing or talks about, we're definitely going to jump on that and get another video out just to update you on their retaliation in a way. Or their rebuttal, I guess would be the better word.
Yeah, well, PlayStation are nothing but bullies. And I say this for the sole fact is Microsoft has always been wanting to be focused on the consumer. Well, since Phil Spencer's been there, they also are helping PlayStation develop a better cloud, and that to me speaks volume again that Microsoft wants to be a team player and do friendly competition. Again, Jim Ryan doesn't want any of that. So,
Yep.
I think on that note, I want to say thank you so much for watching. We appreciate every view, but if you can, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel. It means the world to Dom and I. And we appreciate you stopping by and leave a comment down in the comment section, letting us know your thoughts on this overall acquisition deal and what's it mean for PlayStation in the future.
Yeah, like, subscribe, comment, papaya, whatever you want to do. Just let us know.
Why papaya?
I don't know. It's a good safe word. Papaya.
I'm happy you didn't say pineapple because I feel like everyone says that.
Well, I'm a big Psych fan, and I thought that was overused.
Yeah, well, so am I, and that's why I was happy. Awesome. Apple pie.
Apple pie. That we can go with that.
Deuces.
See you, Nitwits.